Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the Mortal Kombat McFarlane Spawn. This is actually the very first Spawn I've ever had. This is a figure, uh, to be perfectly honest, I did not care about. I wasn't seeking this out. I wasn't looking for it at all. I thought I was pretty much done collecting Mortal Kombat figures because I thought they just weren't releasing those anymore. And obviously, this isn't like a new figure. Just finding them in retail is the issue. I only ever buy on retail. Very rarely do I buy stuff online, and if I do buy stuff online, it's not really going to be McFarlane because I'm not the biggest fan of McFarlane. But I digress. I did find this at my local store, the store I work at, Ross. And for $7, I was like, well, I do like Mortal Kombat. Uh, I've been interested in Spawn, and I'm willing to give this a shot. So I figured, why not? For that price, let's just go ahead and pick it up and see what we think about it. So I guess let's go ahead and get into it. Starting with the front of the box, you have this window right here that shows the figure itself. I do love the packaging for these Mortal Kombat figures. They're nice, they're tight, they don't take up too much room. They look fairly decent. They show you everything you need. This is what it should be. Obviously, if it comes with accessories, it needs to be a little bit bigger. This one only comes with the axe, but this is nice. I like it's compact, it's tight, it works. You don't need to go any bigger, any smaller. This is perfect, as much as you need. So I do appreciate that. It says Spawn down here in that Mortal Kombat yellow. Mortal Kombat at the top. Of course, it's cut off because this is a very tall box. These are very tall figures. On the side of the box, you have a nice little artwork of Spawn right here. On the back of the box, you have more artwork of Spawn right here. Not too super duper involved. Doesn't show you any of the other figures in the wave. This is, of course, I forgot to mention, this is the bloody variant. This is like I think one of the last waves we got for Mortal Kombat before it was done. They released a bunch of bloody variants of all the Mortal Kombat figures. Not all of them. I think only a few got them. Spawn being one of them, of course. I kind of wish. I don't think they could ever sell it retail, but I wish we got gory versions, not just bloody versions, but like like fatality versions of figures. That would look kind of cool, but I don't think that would ever show up in retail. That would just be way too much to pull off without harming the children. So, but this is what we do get. This is as far as I think we'll ever get. Maybe they'll do something like that and make it online only, but online only is really not worth the hassle for a toy maker. Stuff like that. It's just I don't know. It's something for McFarlane to figure out, not for me. So, and then on the side of the box, you have Mortal Kombat right here, which is nice. I appreciate you have either this version or this version for if you want to store it on your shelf. Both versions look fairly decent. They're fairly descriptive. This one, it tells you what figure it is, and then it kind of tells you down here with the Spawn X what figure it is, and then this one is just the figure. So if you like to display your figures in the box, there you go. That looks pretty decent to me. And now we're back to the front of the box, so we can go ahead and transition to the figure itself. Okay, so this is pretty much all you get. You don't get too much here, of course. These are McFarlane figures. Most of the money goes to the sculpt and the articulation, which is, to be fair, superior to most figures you can buy for $20. I'll give him that. Despite not enjoying what they do with that, I can admit that he is superior in most sculpt work and honestly articulation, depending on the figure, of course. But for this price point, though he may be getting beaten out by the Jada toys, the Street Fighter toys, I believe that is an incredible price point for how incredible those figures are. So, starting off, we have this nice, beautiful, bloody axe, Spawn axe. It looks so cool. Don't ask me if I know anything about Spawn because I simply do not. There's a lot to read with those comics and a lot of lore to catch up on. Maybe one day I'll just watch a YouTube video to catch me up on Spawn. He's never been a character I've been super interested in, so I've never done a deep dive on him, but maybe one day I will. But this axe is absolutely beautiful. The blood, I'm having a hard time like getting it to focus on the axe itself, but the blood looks so beautiful. It looks so incredible. Not that I'm like weird like that with blood, but the work that went into making this axe makes it look super pretty. Very nice detail. It looks lifelike. It looks super deeper. I think I like the way this axe looks. I do love that. So we'll set that right there. And then the figure itself is right here, of course. This is the Mortal Kombat version of Spawn, which I think is just the regular version of Spawn. But this being the uh oh, you also get a nice stand here. Not the best stand. These do work sometimes, not all the times. They could be better. But this is a recolor of the regular Spawn, which the regular Spawn looks like this, but not in this color. I believe this cape is supposed to be red. And then everything else is correct. Maybe this is supposed to be a little bit darker of a black, not quite so gray. But like I said, I don't quite know. There are a lot of Spawn figures in Target, so I guess I could go look and figure that one out. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about Spawn. I think he's a cool looking character. He's a cool character in concept. I know a little bit of his backstory, but like as far as like details go, I just don't know anything about this guy. He just looks cool. So I think what they did here is they colored this kind of like I don't know, like a faded version of his color set, like a faded red would be kind of like an orange, a faded black would be kind of like a gray, so they could highlight the red blood splatters, and I think they did an absolutely wonderful job in doing that because it really does stand out. Like if this right here was just his regular red, I don't think this blood would look as cool. And I think every Mortal Kombat figure that got released had alternate colors to what they originally had. So I guess let's go over the figure itself. Starting with the head sculpt, you have this nice, almost skull-like mask. You have the white on both sides and then the green eyes. A little bit of blood splatter on his face, of course. He looks a lot like Bane in a way, just smaller and taller, I guess. I know this costume is very organic. It's kind of like Venom in a way. Kind of morphs over his body. I believe his cape is like the organic matter of the whatever it is. It's something to do with the devil. I don't know much more beyond that. But I know like he can use his costume to like attack, I guess. I don't know much about Spawn, so but that would explain like kind of why it looks like it's sliming all over his body, crawling all over his body, I guess, in a way. I guess it's in effect they're going for. That's one way you can interpret it. You have this nice cape here. I don't believe you could take it off. Yeah, that looks pretty solid on there. But it looks good. It's soft. It moves out of the way if you want. You can maybe pin that down, glue that down so it looks pretty cool. I think it looks fine as it is, but you know, if you wanted to, it's soft enough that you can move it out of the way. I do like McFarlane capes. They do typically move out of the way. They are sometimes a little bit cumbersome, which kind of harms the posability of the figure, but you know, it's better than like average figures where it would just be a hard plastic that you wouldn't be able to move too much. So I do appreciate that. You have the skulls going on either side of the cape, nice chain keeping them held together. You have this V on his chest here, nice bloody detail right there, looks so pretty. You have the gauntlets on his arms, nice spiky gauntlets. This figure is absolutely sharp, so be careful with it. If you have this figure, these actually hurt. They don't move, they're not soft, they hurt. If you threw this at a baby, it would not be a good situation. Not that you should throw anything at a baby, but this specific thing, it wouldn't end well. So don't do that, I guess. I don't know why I went there with that. Like I mentioned earlier, the gauntlet with the blood, it looks super duper. The blood really stands out. It looks like this was meant to like stab somebody. It doesn't swivel, so I can't like do it like that, but you know, if he went like that, that's how it would look. It looks fairly good, nice, sharp. It has some weird goop here. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that on the edge of the blade. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be that thick right there. Maybe that's supposed to be some skin he pulled out. I don't know. Some gross detail that Todd McFarlane came up with. You have this nice skull chain spiky belt here. It looks cool, I guess. This gauntlet is significantly smaller, but just as sharp and pointy and as bloody. You can see he's been punching people with that fist. You have some blood splatter on this pouch right here. You have this spiky boot, which is a very interesting design. I kind of like it. I don't get it, but I kind of like it. And then this one is also smaller. So you can see right side big, left side small, across the board, all the way down. And then I forgot about this. You have this right here on his bicep, this armband, spiky armband. Looking cool, looking great. If there's one thing I like about Todd, it's his designs. He designs characters in a beautiful way. I love the way his characters look, especially Spawn. I've always liked the way Spawn looks. I've just never I just don't like McFarlane toys. I've never picked one up, but I don't know. I'm kind of being won over by this one. I think this one, this Spawn figure is pretty cool. So there are a few Spawn figures at my Target that I've been eyeing, but I've been avoiding because you know how I am with McFarlane figures. So I guess that's enough of that. Let's talk about articulation. Starting with the head sculpt, it's going to be kind of hard to see with the cape in the way, but the head can go up a little ways. Let's do it like that. Up just a smidge, down a little bit. He kind of wiggles. Yes, he wiggles actually quite a bit. Rotates all the way around like so. The arms have that omni butterfly joint that can go up in a way. Up, kinda. It's kind of stiff. There we go. Up and then down and then in and then out. It's a little stiff. It's kind of hard to move. But it moves in all directions, not just front and back, but it goes all different directions. So that is neat. I don't think it always works in its intended design. It doesn't always move the way you would want it to, like I am having trouble doing. Maybe this one will move a little bit more up and down, in and out. I think I'd rather a regular butterfly joint, but you know. Arms come up to about right there, which is absolutely fantastic. Rotates all the way around like so. Swivel at the bicep, rotates up. Well, I just rotated the arm, but you know. There we go. Oh my god. That's hard. Double jointed elbows can come up to about right there. No swivel at the lower half, unfortunately, not even on this side. You would think it would, but it doesn't. Let's see, this one would be easier to work with. The wrist can go, so it's hard to see. It can go in and out, and then if you rotate it, and then twist, it can go up and down. Kind of hard to see because of the way the gauntlets work, but you know, I do like that. I don't think it's perfect, but you know, it works. That's McFarlane's choice of articulation for the wrists and ankles. It gives you more options, but it's just more annoying to use, I guess. I don't love it. Ab Crunch looks like that, which is it can go even further back. Yeah, all the way. It can basically go 90 degrees in the wrong direction, and then if you go forward, uh, I feel like these legs are about to pop off. I don't know. If you go forward, let's just do just the torso, about that far. Lower half, up a little bit further. Add the legs into it. There we go. That's pretty decent. That's fairly incredible, I'd say. The legs can come up basically all the way around. If you can see how the legs work, there's a mechanism there. It kind of rotates all the way around. Allows it to do the splits if you wanted it to. On this diaper, which kind of deforms as you move it, so it does allow for the figure to pose in all sorts of different positions. But I don't love the way it looks. I don't like that it's soft and you can squish it around. I think it harms the figure more than it benefits the figure. I think just a better cut right here would help it immensely over a diaper design. Because as you can see, I don't know, it just looks so bizarre. I don't like it. I know it's for the figure articulation benefit, it just doesn't work. You can see how the legs going over the top of it. I don't like that. I don't like the way that looks. I don't vibe with it. There is no swivel at the leg at all across the board. Double jointed legs goes all the way up to right there. Pretty standard. I don't think this would do too much different. Can go all the way up to right there. Maybe a little bit deeper, of course. So we'll use this leg again. Ankle can go up, ankle can go down, and then if you rotate it, let's get it right. Hold that there. Well, if you can get it, now it can go like that, and yeah. It's kind of hard to move, but you know, it can do that. And then the toe hinge, of course, right there. And that is the McFarlane Spawn. I think this is absolutely lovely. I think this is a great figure. Especially if you already like McFarlane figures. But if you don't, I'd say give this one a chance. This one looks wonderful. It looks super duper good. It feels good. It poses good. There are things about it I don't like. The McFarlaneisms I don't like. But I can get over it and enjoy it for what it is. I think it's a wonderful figure. I think it's absolutely a figure, if you can find, you should get. Or if you can find a regular Spawn, I'm sure it's just as good. It's probably the same sculpt. It's probably the same body. So I assume it would work just as similar, but be a more accurate color. So, you know, I do like this figure. I think this is wonderful. It'll go with my Mortal Kombat figures, and I think after buying this one, I need to go and take a peek at the other McFarlane figures and see if I can find anything else I like as much. But you know, that's going to be it for me on this one. I think, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. And I will be back with another video, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.